Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kate and I own a boutique, and I love to tell you guys all the boutique tips and tricks that I have in the behind the scenes. So today I'm going to be talking all about market. So if you're a new boutique owner and do not know where to purchase inventory, there are two main ways that you can purchase inventory. Well, actually, I'm going to say three. The first way is online on Fashion Go or Fair or vendor direct websites. So then the other one is going to be in LA itself, where a lot of the vendors are based out of. So I'm just going to use High Five as an example of a vendor. So High Five is almost like a store. It's a brand. You'll find High Five online on their own website. You'll also find them on Fashion Go. So online is one of the places, but then also LA Fashion District is one of the main places as well. I've been there multiple times. It's not a market, but you can go there any time of the year to go shopping for wholesale, and you'll, for example, find High Five's showroom there. The third way to buy wholesale is going to a market, which is definitely one of the most popular ways in the boutique industry and definitely one of my favorite ways to purchase inventory. So I'm going to tell you all about how to go to markets and what is required to get into them. First and foremost, what you have to understand is that there are multiple markets that happen multiple times a year. So there is a Dallas market center in Dallas, Texas, and then there's an Atlanta apparel market as well. These two places, and there might be other places around the United States like this too, but these are the main two that I know about, you can go to at any time of the year and shop at, but you're only going to be able to shop with their permanent tenants, which are going to be like higher end brands or like cash and carry like jewelry that you're going to be able to like go in and just like buy jewelry wholesale and take it home with you, which is so great. Like if you live in that area, I would be going like, you know, maybe once a month or something like that to be checking out these brands and buying cash and carry jewelry. But if you do not live in one of those areas like Dallas or Atlanta, I would not suggest flying there when an apparel market is not happening. So how it works is there are women's apparel markets and there's gift markets and there's men's markets. So you're going to want to look at what dates the women's apparel markets are happening in Dallas or in Atlanta at those showrooms. So then that's when you're going to want to travel to those market centers, and that's when all of the vendors, I'm going to use High Five again as one of my examples. The High Five will take all of their inventory, all their samples, and they're going to come, and then you're going to be able to shop High Five along with like hundreds, if not thousands of other vendors at market. So they like are called temporaries, and they are basically like popping up like a pop-up shop where you're going to place orders with them. And again, you're not taking these clothes home with you. I'm going to get more into that. But first and foremost, I just wanted to make sure that you're only going to want to travel to these market centers when there's a market actually going on, like a show going on. The other show that's really popular is Magic, and that is not like a market center. Magic is basically like a huge pop-up itself. So that's going to take place in like a convention center. So they do it at the Las Vegas Convention Center in Las Vegas, obviously, in February and August, and then they also do it in April in Nashville, and then I believe there's one in New York, but I can't remember. I've never been in the New York one, so I'm not sure. But basically, if you go to magicfashionevents.com, you'll be able to see like when those shows are and be able to plan your trips and your flights and your hotels around these markets. These are such a freaking great investment in your business because you could actually touch and feel the clothes. And there's also so many different events happening at each market that I feel like I learned so much from. So like that $1,000 or a few $100s, depending on like how many people you're bringing. If you're just bringing yourself, bringing someone else, how expensive the flights and the hotels are and how much money you spend there. But the money you spend to go to the markets, it always just like comes back. It's like an investment. It's like you get so much out of going there because you're always learning something. You might find a product that you would have never found or a brand that you would have never found otherwise. That's going to make you money. So I always look at markets as an investment and not as an expense. Okay, so one of the most asked questions I get asked, especially on TikTok when I posted about going to market in the past, is how do you get into market and like what are the credentials you need in order to attend? I'm going to read you off the list of what is required for registration registration in order to go to Magic. And this is basically going to be the same for the other shows that, like the Dallas market, the Atlanta market. They're all basically the same. You just need the same credentials. First, you're going to go to their website. And again, I'm just using Magic as a example, but you could go to magicfashionevents.com, click on attend, and it's going to say what's required for registration. I'm going to read it to you right here. You need to have an active website. You need to have a tax registration, recent invoices from the last 6 months from 3 different vendors for finished goods, apparel, footwear, accessories. Purchase orders and handwritten invoices are not acceptable, they say. So basically you could probably even just like submit screenshots from like Fashion Go orders and stuff like that, I would assume. A photo ID, a business card listing the address and your job title, an account list, proof of buying office, account list. Okay, I don't know what that is, proof of buying office. I wouldn't worry about that. I don't know what that means, but if I saw that, I'd be like, oh my God, proof of buying office. I don't have a buying office. Credit reference sheet showing companies you purchase from. So probably basically the same thing as like showing invoices that you've shopped with other vendors before. Letter of intent from a broker or a lawyer on an official letterhead stating the type of business and an anticipating opening date. So that might be something you would have to do if you do not have a business registered yet. But I would think for the most part, all you're going to have to do is have an active website, have tax registration, recent invoices, photo ID, business card. I think the other things might be for the fact that I've been doing this for 6 years and I don't know, and I just wanted to do it from like this point of view, because as someone who like hasn't actually attended a market before, I would be like, oh my God, I'm so scared. Like I need like a lawyer or a broker. That does sound like, I don't have a lawyer or a broker, so that does sound like something you would need to have, like maybe if you actually aren't a legal business yet. But you can go ahead and register right on their website and provide the information. And if you call any of these markets, everyone's always super nice. You can just ask them questions. They're not going to be mean to you. There's new businesses that open all the time. So if you're a new business, like don't be scared. Like just tell them you're a new business. They're not going to be mean to you. And if they are, they're just a bad employee. But I've never had a bad experience. Everyone who works at markets are usually so nice. So that's kind of like what you need to do to register. So let's say we are headed to Magic, which I will be headed to Magic Las Vegas in August. So let's say you register for Magic. You're going to the show in August, which is August 7th through the 9th. Save the date. Let's go. I'll see you there. So you book your flight, you book your hotel for those days, depending on how big your store is. If you have like a lot to buy for like a big store, you know, you might want to go for the whole 3 days. You know, you don't have to go for all 3 days. You could just go for one day. You could leave and come as you kind of want. It's not like you have to be like there for a certain amount of time. But I would probably say like 2 days is typically how long I like to go, just because it is like really tiring and it is a lot to look at. So 3 days is kind of a lot. I've done it before, but 1 day goes by so fast too. So I would say 2 days is probably ideal. So like a good time frame to travel to Magic for me would probably be to fly in like August 6th night and then be ready to go to market in the morning, go to market on August 7th and 8th, and then maybe fly home on the 9th or something like that. Like that might be an ideal schedule. Again, it's all up to you, but I'm just telling you guys kind of like what I usually do typically. And so let's just talk about Magic Las Vegas again, since I am referencing that. When you're going to Vegas, I would say you could stay anywhere on the strip. You could Uber there. We've done that before. They also have a like shuttle throughout the town as well that you could go to. Also, I've stayed at Resorts World before, and the Sahara I did have to Uber. Resorts World, you were able to walk right to Magic. So there are a few hotels in walking distance. And then same thing with like Dallas and Atlanta. There are hotels in walking distance right there. So you're going to want to stay right around there just to minimize like Uber costs and stuff like that. But anyways, so when you go to a market, and this is the same no matter what market you're going to, you're going to go in and you're going to get your badge. So for example, I think with Magic it was a digital badge. Some markets are switching over to digital badges, so you're just gonna get it on your Apple Wallet, and you're basically able to register online, get your badge on your phone, and then every time you like enter the room, like picture like a big conference center, like the pictures I post and stuff. Every time you enter there, they just scan your phone. Some markets still do badges, I think. I haven't been to Dallas and Atlanta in quite a little bit, but they used to do like the badges, and so I like that because I like to see like people's names and like if they're a vendor or if they're a buyer and like what like store they're like buying for and stuff. I just think it's like cool to like kind of see. And if you like see someone that like looks familiar, you could be like, oh, okay, like I know your boutique, like that kind of thing. So I love that. Bring back the digital badge or the non-digital badges, magic. But I mean, honestly, it is convenient to have them on your phone, but I like the badges. So if you do go to a market, just go to like the registration, especially if it's your first one, like go to the registration, get your badge if you need it, ask them any questions, and then once you get to actually go into the market itself, you'll see all these different, it's so overwhelming, all these different brands, but it's so fun. Like the energy in every single market is always insane. Like there's always like great music playing, there's like everyone's like dressed like super cute, which is another thing. You don't have to dress super cute. A lot of times like I'll dress super cute, like if I'm making like content and stuff like that there for the brand. So like I work with Magic as a brand ambassador and I shoot content for Magic while I'm there. So like I do want to look cute in like their content and stuff like that. But sometimes like if I am going for like more than a day or two, and let's say it's the third day, I'll just like wear some leggings and like throw on a t-shirt and sneakers. Like the biggest thing is to wear comfortable shoes, but no one's judging you on what you're wearing at all. Like I mean, people will definitely compliment you if you look cute, but it's not like people will judge you if you're wearing leggings. Like, not at all. I feel like that's very typical. I do see girls in leggings and just like sports sneakers. I also see people in heels. 10 out of 10 would not recommend heels. If you wear heels to market, I literally don't know how you do it, but congratulations. Go into market. It's amazing. You see all of the vendors, and if you are brand new to buying for a boutique at all, you can kind of just like look around. I suggest like walking around a market at first and kind of seeing like what vendors you recognize, what ones look cute. And sometimes I find the best stuff when I'm just like walking by and like don't really have a game plan, and then I like see something cute on a mannequin and I'm like, ooh, like let's go there. Like, and sometimes that's where like the best finds are, and you find like new vendors that way. So basically if you go into a booth, a lot of times a salesperson will help you and they'll say like, oh, do you know about like our dates? So that's one important thing. So when you walk into a booth, they have hundreds, if not thousands, depending on like how big the booth is, samples of clothing. So there's only one piece of each clothing. So if I'm buying this, it's a jumpsuit that I'm wearing. But if they are selling this jumpsuit, it'll be this jumpsuit only on one hanger in the whole entire booth at market. And so if they have thousands of styles, like there'll be like thousands of clothes like hanging on the rack, just one style of each. They're usually just samples. They're usually like a size small. It's not something where you go in and like try things on. You just kind of pick and you can like feel the fabric move and see how it stretches and stuff like that. That's kind of how you do it. And sometimes vendors will let you try things on, but they've been more like lenient about that. In the past, they're like, oh no, please don't try it on. It kind of just depends on the vendor, but you know, you could pull like I put on jackets and stuff like that just to see kind of how they fit, but like it would be impossible to put a dress, you know, over a jumpsuit if it's like tight and stuff like that. So that's how that works. But anyways, with the dates, so usually the clothes are organized by dates. So they might say like, okay, the blue section here, and there's usually tabs on the little hangers. The blue section is for April. The white is immediate. So if it's immediate, that means basically that like if you place an order for that item today, it's gonna ship out within anywhere from like the next day to like a week from now. Like it's basically coming immediately. Blue is April, orange is May, green is June, yellow is July, something like that. So they'll kind of tell you when each piece is coming in, so you can kind of, for each vendor, be sure to pick out a few things from each date, especially if you want to create like collections and stuff like that. So if you pick out a top that's coming in immediately and you love it with these pants, but they're not coming in until July, you know that that's kind of not gonna work. because they're coming in at completely different times, if that makes sense. So basically, after you kind of like know what the dates are, you can start shopping. You literally look through like every single sample. Sometimes I'll skip racks if like I'm not looking for sweaters. You could tell like typically like the sweaters are all together, or you're not looking for dresses, typically they're together. So you can kind of navigate it that way. But there's some brands that I shop with like so loyally with that like I'll just like look through every single piece because I know I need to see like everything that they carry. So once you find something that you like, let's say I like this jumpsuit, I'm like, okay, I like this jumpsuit, hold the jumpsuit in your hand and keep looking, right? Then a sales associate will come up to you, and if they don't come up to you after you have like 2 or 3 things in your hand, that's when you're going to want to ask them. But they're going to ask you, do you want me to start you a rack? And you're going to say yes. Again, if you know you're holding things in your hand and you're like, okay, like is anyone going to help me? Either help yourself or just ask them, ask someone to start you a rack. It's very normal. So you're going to start a rack, and then you're going to go through the whole booth, and every time you pick something out, you'll put it on the rack, or they'll put it on the rack for you, and that rack, nobody else can touch it. So it is market courtesy to not touch somebody else's rack. You could touch it and look and take pictures, but you cannot take something off of somebody else's rack. It is a big no-no at Market. Do not take something off someone's rack. You'll know it's someone's rack if it has like a little like lanyard around it or something like that. You'll see the vendors always do it a little bit differently. Each vendor does it differently, but that's typically kind of what it is. So once you're done, you're like, okay, like I'm gonna like look at my rack. So now look at your rack. Typically I like to organize it between the dates, right? So I'll be like, okay, well, what's coming in now? What's coming in June, July, whatever. And then you kind of look at the dates. Sometimes if I only, let's say I have like 10 things that are immediate, but like 1 thing that's coming in May, and then like 4 things that are coming in July, that 1 thing in May, it might not make my list. It might not cut it. I might have to take it from my rack and be like, just kidding, I don't want this one, because, you know, I just don't want one item shipping by itself, because it's going to, cost a lot in shipping if you're just shipping 1 thing. So unless they offer free shipping. So you're going to want to ship as many products as possible together to save you on shipping costs, because the more that ship together, the more you're going to get for your money. If you're just shipping 1 style, especially if it's just 1 pack, it's going to be like $20-some to ship 1 pack to you, and it's not worth it. So each clothing item that you order comes in packs. Usually it's small, medium, large, 2 small, 2 medium, 2 large. So if you want like 2 packs, you'll get 4, 4, 4. If you're just starting out, just get 1 pack. Unless you already have like a huge following or something like that. So once you go through your rack and you make your final decisions, again, you could pull anything from your rack that you say, I already picked out too many dresses, like never mind, I don't want this. That's totally fine. Then once you're ready to kind of like check out or write your order, someone will come help you. If you've never shopped with that vendor before, they'll ask you for the basic information. Like they probably won't ask you for your tax ID. Some people do, but they basically already assume like you're able to buy or purchase wholesale if you are at the show already. But they'll ask you like for your name, your address, like all that stuff. And then they're going to ask you for a credit card at the end as well. You can say call me for the credit card when it goes to ship, but you're going to be pushed further down the list. So like if they have a ton of people that like want to buy this jumpsuit and you say call before ship, then they're going to ship it out to all these people who already ordered the jumpsuit, and they don't have to call you first. And then by the time they get to you, if it's sold out, then you're kind of like out of luck. So your credit card does not get charged when they check you out. It does not get charged. It gets charged when they're shipping out the product. So if you buy something that has a June date, it will not charge your credit card until June, until they are shipping you that product, which is super nice. Then when you leave, they'll give you a little invoice and you're good to go. You're good to go and you're done with that booth. Again, at Market, you don't take anything home with you that day unless there is cash and carry. And you'll know if it's cash and carry because it'll say it, and usually they're only in like the permanent showrooms, like upstairs in like Dallas or Atlanta, and there's typically not cash and carry at Magic. There might be like a little vendors here and there that do cash and carry, but there's not like a specific area for cash and carry. So mostly everything you're buying, you're not going to really be taking anything back with you, but a lot of vendors will feed you alcohol, and they will give you free gifts. Accept the free gifts. Don't always accept the free alcohol, okay? It's great if it's the end of the day and you're like, I want to drink. Of course, I do that all the time. It's 5 o'clock, I have an hour left, I'm gonna sip on some wine. Don't get drunk on mimosas at 10 a.m. and then drink throughout the day and make horrible buying decisions, because you will do that if it's your first market. You will get drunk and then you're gonna make horrible decisions, because it happened to me. I didn't get like drunk, but like, you know, I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. It's fine, it's $50. So don't do that. I definitely make a relationship with your vendor while you're there. Like, talk to them, you know, ask them how market's going. It's good if they know your name, and it's awesome to get recognized by vendors, and you know, you recognize them too, so next time you come back you kind of have a relationship with that person. Another thing I want to mention is ask for a discount. Girl, ask for a discount, ask for free shipping. If you're a Boutique Hub member, ask if they have Boutique Hub member discounts. A lot of the vendors do, so it might be 5%, it might be free shipping, something like that. They might say no. Most say no, okay? So don't be worried. Don't be scared to ask, because most say no. But every once in a while, you're like, can I get a discount? And you could be like playful, can I get a discount? You have any discounts for your amazing vendors like me? And some of them will be like, yeah, I can give you free shipping. So anyways, that's a good thing to ask as well. And then you just go from booth to booth. You could do your thing. Stay in budget. Don't overbuy. That is what I have to say about going to markets. They are super, super fun. I highly, highly recommend going to market. And then, yeah, your card will be charged. Your vendors will charge the card, ship out your product when it is ready to go. And that's all you really gotta know. Also, a lot of markets do have lots of like fun events and stuff happening like at night. Like there is a magic like after party thing that happens like at like the Cosmo, I think it is. Is it the Cosmo? I don't know. It's like at 10 p.m. so I usually don't go to that one, but they did have a really fun one in Nashville right after at 6 p.m. So fun. My camera died, so I'm just gonna finish this vlog on my phone. It might look a little bit different, and sorry, I'm still sick, can you tell? But a lot of the markets will have like fun events at night, so you can go to those, look at the vendor website and see what kind of like special events they have going on. They also will do like happy hours, and also just like speaking events, lots of like educational speaking events and stuff throughout the day at markets as well. So check that out, and I hope this video was helpful. Leave any comments below with questions that you have. I'm sure there's still lots of questions. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time. Be sure to subscribe if you love my channel. I'm definitely going to be posting lots more educational videos soon. Bye guys!